Welcome to another edition of the Craig Carton Show. My main man, Tyrone Johnson, right over there in the corner. I'm having a great day. He's having a terrible day. That's what happens when you're a New Yorker versus a Philadelphian. That's what happens when one basketball team knows how to come back from 22 points down with 7 minutes to go in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and the other team got swept in the semis because they never get past the semis. What a glorious day to be alive, Tyrone. Just out of curiosity, how you doing today, big guy?
You know, I don't know why you're bringing up Philadelphia at all. See, this is your problem. Why aren't you just happy about your own situation? Don't be worried about me over here.
Because you're sitting over there.
Okay, you're not worried about me, okay? You should just be happy over there. And also, hey, Atkinson and Harden.
Yeah.
I'm never forgiving neither one of y'all. You two are the reason this man's happy, and I hate when Craig Carton is happy.
Yes, that's why we have a very unique relationship in that regard. I want the best for him, but I hate when he's happy. He wants the best for me, hates when I'm happy because it's always sports-based. But, look, there's so many fingers to point, good and bad. Let's start with the obvious. Jalen Brunson became Michael Jordan in the fourth quarter last night. The New York Knicks couldn't shoot or hit the broadside of a barn. I think even at the end of the game with the win, they were under 20% from behind the arc. It was an embarrassment how bad they shot and how rusty they clearly were after a dominant offensive performance against Atlanta and Philadelphia over 7 straight games. But I can tell you this. I've been to many events at Madison Square Garden. I don't think I've ever seen nor heard Madison Square Garden as loud as it was during that comeback over the final 7 minutes. And look, and I'm not saying other buildings wouldn't have been just as loud. It was an epic, historical comeback, one that nobody saw coming. I understand people leaving the building, down 22, 7 minutes to go. But if you left, shame on you. Because you gave up. You acted like a Philadelphian. You gave up, and you said, we'll live to fight another day. But the New York Knicks said, we're not done just yet. And a combination, of course, of the great shooting late by Jalen Brunson. Let's start with him. 11 consecutive points, every one of those points against your favorite player, James Harden.
Yeah, just unbelievable. So credit to Brunson, full credit to Brunson.
I know it took him so long, to be honest.
Well, they admitted after the game they were rushed. 9 days is a long time.
It is.
9 days is a long time, and you saw it. And it was it ended up being 53 minutes of basketball. The last 12 were epic. The first
44-11.
Yeah.
What Tyrone's referring to.
Yeah.
Last 7 minutes of regulation.
Plus the
entirety of overtime, the 5 minutes of the 12-minute span. In those final 12 minutes of the game, the New York Knicks outscored the Cleveland Cavaliers 44-11.
I mean,
obscene.
It's ridiculous, especially with how bad the offense had been. And then for whatever reason, Kenny Atkinson, in addition to everything else that happened, ends regulation with 2 timeouts in a game that became close. I've never seen a combination of a player getting that hot and the other team doing absolutely nothing to try to adjust to stop it.
Well, look, they never took Harden off of Brunson.
Never.
And he abused him. Let's just call it the way it is. He was a traffic cone out there defensively, 1. Number 2, the Cavs missed a bunch of free throws down the stretch, which obviously helped the comeback. Number 3, Jalen Brunson became the best player in the world for about a 12-minute span, a little bit less than that. And for all the people out there in the national media that are like, I said this to you the other day, and I know I'm a subjective fan because I'm a fan.
Yeah.
All right, so I understand that at times I see the Knicks through Knick-colored glasses. I own that 100%. It's my favorite team of all my teams. But I'm so sick and tired of all the people out there that try to put down Jalen Brunson as he's not a superstar. He doesn't defend well. His shot's not that great. Jalen Brunson last night was Michael Jordan in crunch time. And you can say whatever you want about he's not fast, he's not a great defender, all the stuff that people like to say he doesn't do well. Every single time you tell me what Jalen Brunson can't do, he does it. He is one of the great fourth quarter players this game has ever seen. Now he's got to win a title, obviously.
Ever seen.
But I think the series ended last night. That is a soul-stealing, soul-crushing loss for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They should have left that building with a win last night.
Yeah, they absolutely should have. Not only that, I think you're correct, unfortunately, about the series. I just don't see a path now for the Cavs to come back. Now, I'm not saying automatically they're getting swept, but there's no path to actually winning the series.
So you're with me on that.
I'm
Right.
completely with you. I don't want to be, but I am. And I thought Kenny Atkinson, arguably up until yesterday, was coach of the year this year.
I think he's a great
NBA
coach. He got out coached last night.
Last night, Mike Brown took his lunch money, his mortgage money, the car note. He undressed them. And I don't know if they lose this series in 4 or 5. It goes from coach of the year to you can't bring him back. You cannot bring Kenny Atkins back to Cleveland after what the Knicks did because they emasculated him. And then after the game, I understand he couldn't throw players under the bus, but he has to throw himself under the bus, and he refused. That hubris is going to get his ass fired.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get fired, but he did a bad job. He got out-coached by Mike Brown, and Mike Brown, the best thing Mike Brown did last night was, and I love Josh Hart, was bench Josh Hart for Landry Shamet.
Had to.
And Landry Shamet did a great job on defense against Harden for part of that in the second half. And, of course, made a couple big shots. I think he was 3 for 3 from behind the arc.
Yeah, one of them.
And all that in the second half.
2 of them good. One of them bounced. I don't know where the hell it went. It comes right back through the net. And that's when I know, okay, game over. Or, hey, Kenny. Get a timeout. Get a timeout. Take Harden out.
Actually, it was the Knicks that called the timeout.
Right.
Which I didn't quite get. And right after the Knicks called the timeout, the Cavs got that big 3. I'm blocking on who the heck it was. By Mobley, actually.
Yeah, Mobley.
Mobley hit that big 3.
And that was huge at the moment.
And in the moment, I'm like, damn, that was a huge 3 from the Mobley right there, who's not a great three-point shooter.
That put him up 6 at the time. And then that's where the coaching also went down.
Yeah.
The clock is now in your favor if you're Cleveland. What you need to do is overplay the three-point line and make them drive, because if they get 2, it's still a 2-possession game. Instead, you get the Bridges 3 from the corner.
Right, so which was, a prayer.
But you get the Bridges 3 from the corner, come down, they get a stop, come down another 3, and now I'm telling you, your season is, as a Cavaliers fan, ended during that stretch.
And then the thing I didn't understand, look, I know he missed a wide-open shot, but what's his name? The white dude who made a bunch of threes last night.
Struce?
No, not Struce, the other one.
Merrill.
Sam Merrill, yeah.
Yeah, but he can't get that shot late.
No, but
he
here's
can't
the
get that
thing,
shot.
It's a wide open look.
It was.
The Knicks defense was haphazard. We got to own that. We did not play great D throughout this game, and we were chasing guys running all over the place. But again, if you go back and watch the film, it's a tie game. Clock's ticking down, 10, 9, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. If he drives the lane there, he's going right to the goal with nobody playing any defense. I know he's wide open. I know he's an outside shooter. I know his game is not driving to the goal. But it was a panic shot right there. And it was halfway down and came back out. So the basketball god said to us a year ago, we screwed you with the Halliburton 3 that forced overtime that cost us game 1. The basketball gods gave it back to us last night. And what a great win from my New York Knicks. They are going to the NBA Finals. Let's all do a little Knick dance.
Now come on. And you see this? Now, listen, I'm happy for Craig for the radio show later on and all you
I'm going to be so obnoxious this afternoon. It's going to be so much fun.
I'm happy for you in that way. But I just don't like that Kenny Atkinson made it so easy. How do you finish that game? After the Knicks tie it, they're walking it up. I understand some coaches don't believe in the timeout, but Donovan Mitchell was going whole possessions without even touching the ball. How about call timeout and draw up a play where he's going downhill, and if they double, he kicks it to somebody?
Kenny Atkinson became a spectator last night.
Instead, he's watching the game like we are.
I agree 100%.
You can't let the Knicks do it easily. And the Knicks, it's hard to say when you come back from 22 points down, but they almost did it easily. There was no resistance.
Yeah, the key parts were... All right, so they go on a 9-0 run.
Yep.
All right, and then you're like, all right, it's interesting. Maybe it's still double digits, though. And now there's only 4 minutes left. And then it was, all right, we're down 12. Well, that seems like if we had a couple stops, then it came down to, I said to the people I was with last night watching the game, I'm like, I feel like we have to score on every possession. There's not a single possession we can afford not to score on. And the Cavs didn't change a damn thing.
Not a single thing.
And we were like, you're just going to give us what amounts to layups?
Right.
We're going to take the layups. And then when Brunson made the shot to make it 5, I felt like we're going to win this game. In any event, what a great day to be alive. The Knicks, 3 wins away from the NBA Finals. back to the Craig Carton Show. I saw Don Ravel posted a tweet. MGM's building a new hotel wing in Las Vegas off of tonight. 95% of the money at BetMGM was on the Knicks minus 7.5 tonight. Down 27-29 to go. Oops. And there's a community note there. The community note is this. Jalen Brunson told MGM to stop the construction. Woo! How about that, Tyrone?
Yeah.
8 consecutive wins, all by double digits in the postseason for the most dominant team in basketball, the New York Knickerbockers.
Yeah, I'm not happy
It's
about
okay to be jealous today.
No, it's not jealous. It's not really jealous, okay? And here's why, okay? I give credit to what the Knicks did. I don't want to take credit away from the Knicks, okay?
Thank you.
To what they did.
That's very big of you.
But at the same time.
Greatest game you ever saw. Yeah. You know what it reminds me of?
No.
Like of all the great games you've seen, like let me think of some of the great games you've seen.
The AI step-over game against the Lakers.
The Kawhi Leonard baseline corner shot.
Why?
That ended that series.
That was
one of the great games you've ever seen.
It was a great game. Yeah, I was working. I had to do Sixers outsiders after that game.
You remember that game?
Yeah.
That's when Toronto knocked you guys out.
My co-host cried.
In the semis, since you've never been to the finals of the East with Embiid on the team.
They only got there once with AI. It's been way longer than that. They only got there one time with AI.
Another great game that you've witnessed. Pick your poison 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the Eastern semis. This year, you watched an offensive juggernaut the likes of which you've never seen before.
Shot 95% against the Sixers, and then you're shooting 5%. You're shooting 5% until 7 minutes left.
Yes.
I'm sitting there going, I was going to wear Knicks clothes to work today. I couldn't wait. Next thing you know, I'm starting noticing. I'm going, well, Kenny Atkins is going to do something, right?
He's going to call a timeout.
Oh, to be honest with you, Ethan just asked it up. Yes, I bought Knicks clothes and Cavs clothes just for the troll job. Yeah. Waste of money after what happened last night.
I'll take the Knicks care.
Kenny Atkinson just is just chilling. Okay? I'm hoping that it comes out that he had some sort of real big illness and a 109 fever, okay? Otherwise, what he did was a disservice not just to me, but to the majority of America, because Knicks fans right now are on a heater.
Yes.
Okay, you guys are on a heater.
Consecutive wins.
Right, and it's not
all by big numbers.
Right, and I'm not just
covered
talking
the
about
spread in every game.
Right, I'm not talking about the players. It's the fans right now. Knicks fans have never been up like this. I mean, maybe in the early 70s, Knicks fans have never been up like this.
No.
Okay? And New York City, for people that don't know, and Craig, I'm sure you inform all these people, but because of your choices of the Yankees and the Mets and the Giants and the Jets, because of that, the Devils, the Islanders, the Rangers, everybody in New York is a damn Knicks fan.
Correct.
And now, this is now taking the weather's 1,000,000 degrees. You have all these Knicks fans, all who have been down for decades, all up at the same time.
Yes.
I've never seen this before. And Kenny Atkinson made it even worse. I can't take this. I can't take it, Craig.
And to show you how Knicks fans feel about the series being over, you guys have the video last night afterwards. Thousands of Knicks fans on 33rd and 7th enjoying the greatest comeback win in NBA playoff history.
It's 85 degrees. They're packed together, sweating. They don't care at all.
100% right. And we're not climbing greasy poles. We're just celebrating another great performance by our Knicks. Take a listen to how it sounded last night. Go ahead. We want Wemby.
You better be careful what you wish for. you are SGA.
The point of this is the series is over. We've moved on from the Cleveland Cavaliers and their collapse over the last 7 minutes of change last night. It's on to Wemby or the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's how confident we are right now as Knicks fans. It's a wrap. We stole their soul last night, and that's the kind of loss you do not come back from. You know it.
It's just true. And I want to be contrary right now.
Tomorrow night's a blowout win for the Knicks.
I just don't see a path. Now, the point spread, and it's been very steady.
Oh, yeah, what is it, 7 again?
It is 6.5 right now.
Same as last
time. FanDuel. Yeah, the same thing. But that's almost been a default. The Thunder were 6.5-point favorites in game one. They're 6.5-point favorites. It just seems like that's where they've been putting the lines. The over-under number, I will say, is lower than you would think. It's 215.5. So maybe there's a little defense.
Well, based on the shooting last night, I guess that makes some sense.
That drags the number down some. But I just don't see a path to where the Knicks aren't in the finals. I agree. Game 1 was the Cavs' path.
100%, because that was the game, the Russ game.
And that was there for them. And they took it. Even though they didn't shoot well, they still were up 22. You can make the argument with how poor the Knicks were. Maybe it should have been more. Maybe just how bad it was.
You can't blow a 22-point lead in 7 minutes.
You just can't do it, and your coach cannot end the game with 2 timeouts. You can almost
take 24-second shot clock violations every possession and still win that game.
That's what they should have done. And, again, up 6, how you allow the Knicks to get clean threes versus making them drive for 2s, because the math at that point, you just said 24-second violation, 6 points with a minute and change, make them drive. 4-point game is still a 2-possession game.
Correct.
Atkinson makes them overplay for the 3 ball, and then it's 3-3, your season's over. You can't let it happen.
It was glorious. It's one of the great moments of my lifetime as a sports fan, considering how much I love my New York Knicks. I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
There's video out there, and I know why it's out there, because people try and take shots at some of us as Knicks fans, that does show, not thousands, but hundreds for sure,
there was some.
of Knicks fans with about 6 or 7 minutes to go, down 22, walking out of the building, saying, all right, let me beat city traffic, let me get to my garage, get my car ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
Those people are now being publicly embarrassed because there's video of it. If you were at the game last night and you kind of looked around, and whether you're with family or friends, whatever the case may be, your wife, whatever it is, and you're like, honey, look, it's a wrap. I've watched a lot of sports. The Knicks are dead. We're going to come back Thursday night, try to win game 2. We could probably get a head start on traffic, get home in a reasonable hour. What do you tell your coworkers today when they say to you, what was it like in the building last night as the Knicks started their comeback? And you left with 7 minutes to go.
You have a responsibility not only to yourself, but to your children, your future children.
Tell the lie, right?
You have to lie.
Because
this game very well is going to catapult them to the NBA Finals. That game. You cannot tell your coworkers, and again, what if you have a 2-year-old? What if you got a kid on the way? You got to be able to tell that kid you were in the building for perhaps the greatest comeback in Knicks history. For
not
sure.
even close.
That's what I'm saying. You have to lie because you owe it to your generation. To say you were there at the end.
Those conversations are happening right now.
Oh yeah.
At cubicles and workplaces throughout New York City.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's enough people leaving. I saw the video.
Yep.
I saw the video. I have no answer for the video. I get it. Not thousands of people, hundreds of people, though, for sure, are walking out of the building. Those people are telling their friends at work today, man, can you believe people left? What the greatest moments of all time.
The UIM Formula One World Championship Series. We are over the moon excited about the upcoming season.
Let's go.
10,000 horsepower roars off the dock. Oh my, there's a problem. On the outside, side by side.
And he's lost control of the book.
Hopes and dreams of winning here.
Yes!
Get ready for round 1, the Regione Sardegna Grand Prix of Italy, May 29th to 31st.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Hey there, it's your buddy Craig Carton. If you're trying to find out how to get all the great content that me and Tyrone Johnson give you every single day, here's Tyrone to tell you how.
You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and of course, Amazon Music as well. We're at all 4.
That's right. It's the Craig Carton Show podcast every weekday morning live at 11, replayed at noon on YouTube and on SportsGrid throughout the country. Check it out. All right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. There's some other NBA news yesterday outside of the Knicks' amazing, ridiculous, unpredictable comeback against the Cavs last night to take the 1-0 series lead. You have game 2 tonight, Thunder Spurs. Obviously, Spurs took game 1 on that crazy double overtime game where Wemby had 41-24. But Masai Ujiri, who's the new president of the Dallas Mavericks, really out of nowhere last night, right around the start of the Knicks game, fired Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
Good riddance to Jason Kidd. I agree 100% with this firing.
Okay, why?
Because Jason Kidd, one of the great guards we've ever seen.
Yes.
Rightfully so, a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Like, whoever bought into the notion that Jason Kidd was a great head coach in the NBA?
No,
I never did.
No, I never did.
And I can tell you that when he was the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets, Lawrence Frank was his lead assistant. Lawrence Frank now runs the Clippers out in L.A., and you could certainly take your shots at Lawrence Frank for the decisions he's made as GM and president of the Clippers. But I remember, and again, this was early in Jason Kidd's coaching career, but Jason Kidd didn't know that head coaches also coach practice. No joke. He didn't show up for practices. Lawrence Frank coached all the practices, and there came a point early in the season where during timeouts in actual games, the team would look to Lawrence Frank for what the coaching was going to be during timeouts.
Yeah.
And Jason Kidd got upset about that and was very insecure about it and yelled at the guys, "I'm the head coach, not Lawrence Frank." So he fired Lawrence Frank.
Wow.
But Lawrence Frank was only the guy they looked to because he ran all the practices. Jason didn't show up to a lot of practices. And when he did go to practice, the limited times he didn't coach them. Lawrence Frank did. So the guys were all confused by it. And then I'm looking at a guy who's a great player for sure.
Yes.
One of the great guards I've ever seen play, and a rightful Hall of Famer. And I'm saying to myself, what did he really ever get done in Dallas? Went to a finals.
Right, and he deserves credit for that because allegedly
Had one of the great players in the sport, Luka.
Right, but allegedly he did a great job working around Luka's defense, and we've seen firsthand since it's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
For sure. So I give him credit. He went to one NBA Finals.
For that year.
And they lost, obviously.
Yep.
What else has he done?
Oh, not a damn thing.
Right. So I saw a lot of people in basketball like, I can't believe you fired Jason Kidd. Oh, I'll take Jason Kidd. Why?
Well,
I was listening to the radio driving in today, and I heard somebody either call in, or I forget if it was the host or caller, said that when the Knicks were down 22, and I realized that the Mavericks had fired Jason Kidd, I was thinking, great, hire Jason Kidd to replace Mike Brown. And again, I forget who said it, so that's on me. But I'm like, why would you, A, fire a guy that just got you to the Eastern Conference Finals in his first year and has a 1-0 lead right now in those finals for a guy that's done nothing?
I agree with that. Now,
with multiple jobs.
Right, but
3 different jobs.
There are wild rumors out there already, though. You want to hear the wildest of the rumors?
That he's got a landing spot?
Now, a landing spot, and then another move will happen with him going to that landing spot. It's a wild rumor that's already out there.
Should it be obvious to me?
No. You will not like the rumor, but it's out there. And it's out there from multiple people.
It's out there from multiple people?
Multiple people.
So that means that there's a team that has an eyeball on Jason Kidd. Is that where we're at?
And then something else would then happen once Kidd arrives. That is what's out there from multiple people. I don't agree with it.
Wow. I'm going to take a guess because I am, as many people know, the authoritative voice on basketball in this country. As many people know. Just go check my radio show. What was my score prediction for last night's game? And get back to me on that.
All right. Well,
I'm just saying.
You predicted
I can tell you if you want.
Sure.
Don't shore me.
Sure.
Do you want to know the prediction or not?
I badly want to know, Craig. I
feel like you really want to know.
I want to know.
Only because you want to know.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you. And I said it at about, 5:58-ish or so.
Okay, so we'll check the tape.
You please check the tape.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, if memory serves me, What was the final score of the game last night?
The final score of the game,
115-104, I think.
it was 115-104.
That was the final score.
Yes, they won and covered.
That's interesting. Because somebody on the radio yesterday said something to the effect that the New York Knicks would win last night 116-104.
That's pretty good.
What?
So not correct, but pretty close.
Within a point.
That's pretty good, I said.
Dude,
I gave you your credit.
I win both jackpots on Price is Right.
Yeah,
What do you
sure.
I
oh, wait,
said
nope.
116,
Actually,
104.
nope, you went over. So you lose.
I
Meanwhile,
get
the other
both.
guy
I get
would be
both.
celebrating. All right, before we go to the break, I got to tell you what the
I
wild...
did go over, you're right.
You did a little over. I got to tell you the wild rumor, though.
All right, so let me guess. The rumor's going to involve Giannis, obviously.
Yeah, we don't have a
So
lot
it's
of-
going to be Giannis goes... Giannis, where the heck would Giannis go? Where Kid would go with him is what you're getting at, I assume,
Yep.
right? Just go ahead and tell me.
Minnesota to have him coach Ant-Man and Giannis to push all in and try to win. That's out there.
I mean, it's interesting. I guess they've got the pieces and the draft picks.
They do.
They're not going to win with Jason Kidd. Back to the Craig Carton Show, Tyrone Johnson. I gave you a stat yesterday that I'm not sure if you questioned it or if you were just bothered by it.
No. The people have questioned it on social media.
That's fine. The people are wrong. James Harden last night had more turnovers than field goals made again, which he's done throughout his playoff career. All right, he had 6 turnovers. He had 5 made baskets. So that's more turnovers than made baskets, okay? He has now done that in 48 of his 188 playoff appearances. That's 26%, okay, of his playoff appearances. He's had more turnovers than made baskets. You know how hard that is to do?
It's really hard.
For a great player especially?
It's really hard to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hard to do. I mean, there's only one. Now, one player on the Knicks didn't manage it yesterday, but it didn't matter because they won.
What happened yesterday?
One player on the Knicks also did it, but it didn't matter because they won.
Who was it?
Karl Anthony Towns. He did not have a good game.
No, he had a double-double, but he didn't have a great game.
7 turnovers, 6 made baskets.
7 turnovers, 6 made baskets, yeah. And he had that stupid foul on Jared Allen. Where he grabbed his arm.
Why are you grabbing him?
Which cost the Knicks points.
Right, and you're a million miles from the basket there.
Because if he doesn't do that, you're going to have a flagrant one on the foul against Josh Hart. So it was also a shooting foul.
Right.
So you have 3 free throws and the ball.
And instead he does
and he's
that.
grabbing John Owens' arm and pulling like an idiot.
And the thing is, all you do is Allen was going to help. Therefore, you're now there for a lob. If you just let it happen.
Or a rebound, whatever.
Or something instead.
Yeah, it was just
idiotic play. I mean, he's got to be frustrated.
Yeah, I tried to point that stat out for those of you that love James Harden, the Beard. The Beard did what he does.
Yep.
He's a generationally great scoring talent, but in the biggest moments, he comes up small. And he does it so often, it's now like it's not even like fun. It is fun actually to talk about it, but it's almost like a cliche now. Like even that last pass behind his back that got stolen in the lane. Like, what are you thinking?
What are you doing?
Like you're trying to win game 1 on the road, and he's doing this like Meadowlark Lemon crap in the lane late in the game.
And he shoots 1 of 8 from 3 to go with it. So on a night where the Knicks finally, after basically 2 solid weeks of the Nets being on fire every time they shoot, the ball didn't touch a rim for 2 weeks.
Right.
They finally are cold, and then you shoot 1 for 8. So you can't take advantage of it. Like he is the worst great player in the history of the sport. He's
Not even close.
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer
100%.
by merit. He's going to be top 10 in points, top 10 in assists. He has all these stats, and it's all there. But he's the worst of those of players on that tier. He just is.
Yeah, that's his legacy. That's what his legacy is.
Yeah.
I want to go to football here real quick because any chance I have to attack the morons that live in Kansas City that root for the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm going to take my shots at you morons. And I'm just wondering how you feel today as you wake up to the reality that your second best offensive player, not named Patrick Mahomes, Rashee Rice, is a complete tool who doesn't deserve to have the opportunity maybe anymore to play in the NFL, which is a privilege, not a right. Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice, first off, we found out late, had another surgery on his knee.
Yeah, clean up.
His surgically repaired knee to remove some loose debris that was causing inflammation, which was going to sideline him for 2 months. So he was not going to be able to participate in the mandatory minicamp or the OTAs, right?
Yep.
But that's not the story that bothers me the most.
I find completely outrageous. Then I looked at it a second longer, and it might be a really smart angle.
I like to test them a little bit.
I like that.
To test them a little
I
bit.
like that a lot.
Oh, yeah, come on, you don't know? You don't know this team name? You should. You're in the sports business.
Game time decisions only on SportsGrid.
The promising thing for Oklahoma is you've got this legislature that seems to be fairly behind sports betting and legalizing it for the tribes. Stitt is term limited out this year, so you will have a new governor in Oklahoma next year. So this will be a state to watch because there are a lot of tribes in Oklahoma saying, we want this. FanDuel came out as this was coming and said, we want the chance to partner with at least one of the tribes.
Newswire only on SportsGrid.
Manager, hitting coach, bench coach, assistant hitting coach, third base coach, hitting strategy, and game planner here. It's almost like a line change in hockey, Craig.
Some of these questions that have to be asked, Donnie, would be, what did you think a month ago, Donnie, right? Like right before the season started, did you think that these coaches were the answer to your season? Because if not, why did you wait all off season to make a change like that?
Pro Baseball Today only on SportsGrid.
If LeBron James is the causal reason, and he would be, that the Lakers take out the Houston Rockets, I got to change my narrative a little bit.
A little bit.
I gotta walk
by the paperwork. He's on parole.
All you have to do, and it's not difficult. They tell you the rules. Just don't get stoned for a set period of time. I'm not sure how long his probation is. All right. He couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
So now he's in prison right now. He's in jail right now. 30-day jail sentence, which started yesterday. Okay? At what point do you find morons in Kansas City say Rashee Rice is not worthy of a Chiefs uniform? When does that happen? I'm asking.
It needs to happen now. It needs to happen now. And again, it's not about the we, because I completely agree with you. I'm not a hypocrite, so it's not about the we.
Not about the we at all.
But if I got in some trouble, the authority said, you're good, you're not going to get in any additional trouble, the only thing you really have to do is not smoke weed, the answer is simple. You don't smoke weed. And the fact that he doesn't have that amount of discipline shows you that he's not fully invested, for whatever reason, in being a professional football player. And therefore, if you're a Chiefs fan, which you should be saying, I hope they're going to say in the comments after what Craig said is, we don't need that guy. We can't care about our team more than he does.
Right. He doesn't give a rat's ass about you as Chiefs fans. Doesn't care about the Kansas City Chiefs.
Not at all.
He only cares about himself. And here's how stupid you people are in Kansas City. This video went viral yesterday. Whatever nice suburban community Rashee Rice lives in, a bunch of school kids went outside with their parents, holding up signs for Rashee Rice, supporting Rashee Rice as he drove out of the community directly to, I guess, the county jail. That's how you're raising your kids in Kansas City. Never mind the fact that he's got domestic violence accusations in his past. Never mind the fact he damn near killed innocent people doing 150 in a Lamborghini on the road a couple years ago. Never mind the fact that he couldn't follow very basic rules of a pro/probation. All right? They've got their kids out there holding up signs supporting Rashee Rice, telling him, hurry back soon, Rashee. We can't wait to see you on the field for the Kansas City Chiefs. You're dumb people, and you're raising dumber people in Kansas City. And I hope that my friends like Starcade Media and others that talk Kansas City Chiefs every day came out on the right side of this historically, because there's no more any support for Rashee Rice if you're a good person in Kansas City. He's embarrassed your city, he's embarrassed your franchise, and he's embarrassed you. At what point do Kansas City Chiefs fans wake up and go, Rashee Rice is bad for us. Rashee Rice is bad for the Chiefs. Rashee Rice is bad for the NFL. And I'm not having my beautiful 6-year-old daughter draw up a sign in kindergarten and holding it up, hoping that Rashee Rice gets to jail on time. You're a bunch of morons, and you're raising idiots in Kansas City. Ugh.
Now they are. Now, for 1 second for the football part before we go to break. If you're Patrick Mahomes and you're busting your ass to get back and you're rehabbing your knee like crazy, do you want that guy on your team still?
Well, let me ask you a question. When Rashee Rice almost killed 6 people on drag racing, what did the other morons in that locker room that played for the Chiefs do?
Oh.
You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that?
There's a Mr. Swift right there wearing that stupid shirt when he got suspended.
Let's free Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice put himself in prison. Let him sit there for 30 days and maybe grow up a little bit. Morons. Craig Carton Show. Sorry for those technical difficulties we had last segment. I was unaware of them at the time, but I'm told all is good now.
All's good.
There you go.
All was good by the end of the segment.
So you might have missed me say that people in Kansas City are morons for supporting Rashee Rice as he now does a 30-day stint in jail for testing positive for marijuana while on parole or probation. I don't know which one it is. And yet, you know exactly what those sheep are going to do. Bah, bah. We love you, Rashee Rice. Come back soon, Rashee. You asked an interesting question about Patrick Mahomes. I just want to go down the road for one second.
Because he's in a bit, because he didn't, I don't remember him wearing the shirt.
I don't remember him wearing the free Force shirt either.
Yeah.
That was these idiots out there supporting a guy that damn near killed innocent people on the streets drag racing. Yeah. You know, marijuana, I believe, is also a criminal offense in Dallas County, Texas, where I guess he tested positive.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if there's any more charges that might come his way, or if by violating the terms of his parole, that he now, I know it's 30 days for now, but if you have like a hard-ass prosecutor down there, I'm wondering if they're considering more charges against him or revoking the entire agreement in the first place and making him go to prison for a longer time, or maybe even go to, I don't know what else it would be, but I'm not sure if that's on the table or not.
According to reports, that is on the table. Now, it's not mandatory. There is discretion there, but they have no reason to care about a Kansas City Chiefs player. So it's not one of those hometown things.
Right.
So,
right.
But apparently it is on the table for him to do more time. And some people were saying that usually it would be at least another 3 months.
Yeah, look,
in addition to those 30 days.
He's out for the next 2 months anyway because they went back into his knee to clean out loose debris. So
that
let's say May 20th, right?
Yeah, so
that's July 20th. Okay, that gets you to training camp, basically.
Yeah, and he'd be back, yeah.
So he misses the mini camps, misses the OTAs, but he's ready at some level.
Yeah, he knows the offense and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But that's like the way I view Malik Neighbors with the New York Giants. When the doctor has to go back in, that's not a good thing.
Never.
That's not a guy that's coming back to play anytime soon.
No.
The way I view it.
You can't bank on it. Now, they're saying September he'll be fine, but that still means he's going to miss a chunk of training camp with a young quarterback.
And I'll do you something else. Again, unless, I don't know what jail he's going to in Texas. I don't know.
He won't be
I'm
doing
assuming
rehab.
it's like a county jail.
He will not be doing rehab.
Well, that's my point.
Yeah, he won't be doing rehab.
Like, one of the benefits of being a pro athlete when you're recuperating from an injury is the access to the great doctors, the great rehab centers, the great physical therapists, all the things that help expedite you coming back faster than you and I would come back.
The electric stimulus, all the stuff that they do.
And by the way, and then recovery becomes your job.
Right.
Whereas we got to go to work, right? So that's why our recovery always takes longer than a professional athlete's. So for the first 30 days,
no treatment.
Which means I think the recovery takes a lot longer than 60 days.
Oh, yeah,
because all he's going to do in a county jail, assuming he's in a county jail, I assume that's what you do for this type of case. You know, you try to go to the lowest level jail.
Yeah.
Not that county jail's good. He might even be sequestered from Gen Pop because of who he is. That's certainly possible. Or you go to a place like here in New York, a place like Rikers, where they do sometimes segregate well-known prisoners from others, but sometimes they don't. And my point of that is...
Mike Vick in Fed prison, but he was in Gen Pop, for example.
Like Lil Wayne went to Rikers. He was in Gen Pop.
Gen Pop, yeah.
He didn't get any special treatment there. Yeah. Other than recording one of the great rap songs with Jay-Z of all time.
Just unbelievable.
From Inside.
From Inside.
Yeah, which is a story that I'll have to tell more in depth one day later on this summer. It's a great story. You know the song Hello Brooklyn?
Yeah.
So in Hello Brooklyn, and I hope I don't mess this story up because L-Dub watches us every day. He'll tell me if I do.
Yeah.
His lines were recorded from a prison phone at Rikers, which is what? And that everybody to shut up while he did his verses, which is a great story.
And the fact that he starts it, "Hello, Brooklyn."
Yeah, how you doing? Anyway, that's another story for another day. My point of this is, when are you idiots in Kansas City going to turn your backs on Rashee Rice? And more importantly than you morons, when is Patrick Mahomes going to turn his back on him? Now, right now, the Kansas City Chiefs offense needs Rashee Rice healthy because Rashee Rice is a difference maker.
Yes.
I total respect for his football abilities. He's a one-of-one type of dude. He's a special football player, a special athlete, no doubt about that. He's also a knucklehead. But at what point does Patrick Mahomes say, dude, like the sideshow's got to come to an end? Like, you're blessed because I'm your quarterback, and he is blessed.
Right.
Like Rashee Rice with almost any other quarterback, while a great player still, is not Rashee Rice the way we know him.
Absolutely not.
Mahomes is just that good.
Of course.
Right? So at what point does Patrick Mahomes now turn around and say to the Hunt family, it's enough? We got to start bringing more high-quality character guys into this franchise. And here's why. I can't trust him.
Right.
I can't trust that Sunday at 1 o'clock when I look to my right and I look in the slot that I got Rashee Rice there. Because I don't know what Rashee Rice is doing last night to make sure he's on the field ready to play. And that's when a guy like Rashee Rice winds up getting traded or cut.
Yeah, I think that if you're Mahomes, you have to do it now because you have to be feeling your mortality now because hypothetically you should have another 10 years, but you're coming off an injury.
Significant injury.
Right, and guys think about their mortality when that happens. You got your best defensive player, Jones, on the way out. Kelsey, on the way out. It's now going to be Mahomes and who? And do you really want to go long-term for your second chapter if you're Patrick Mahomes with that guy as your number one receiver?
You can't because you don't trust him.
You can't.
Like the beauty of Mahomes and Kelsey is the trust.
Right.
I know where he's going.
All the time, right.
I give you a wink. I give you a nod. You give me a touch, wherever it is.
Right.
Like, that's why that combination has been so deadly because they trust each other.
And that's going away.
Kelsey, up until recently, and that's just age more than anything else, and maybe the Taylor Swift distraction, was always where he was supposed to be. And it's very hard to defend that. I don't trust Rashee Rice.
There's no way you can.
Yeah.
There's no way you can. And, in fact, I wouldn't be shocked if they're now late going to try to get A.J. Brown. Now, maybe they don't have the ammo, but they say Jacksonville's jumped in. It's no longer a given that he's going to the Patriots.
I heard something weird yesterday about A.J. Brown, that the deal that's in place for him to go to New England after June 1st in a couple weeks is for a 2028 first-round pick.
It very well could be.
Not next year's first round, 2 years from now.
I'm hearing that Jacksonville's prepared to match that and add a player.
Okay, well, that'd be interesting.
So it's not a given.
Lock that he's going to New England.
It is no longer a lock. If I'm the Chiefs, I got to at least think about jumping in there and get my quarterback a number one guy.
By the way, if I'm the Chiefs, I'm all over A.J. Brown.
I got to go for it.
And if I'm the Eagles, if I can still guarantee that he does go to the AFC. Yeah.
I don't care where he goes.
Who's got the best offer?
Yep.
Right? I think the Patriots pick would be better than the Chiefs, but still.
Probably.
You got to shop that around, no doubt about that.
The UIM Formula One World Championship Series. We are over the moon excited about the upcoming season.
Let's go.
10,000 horsepower roars off the dock. Oh my, there's a problem. On the outside, side by side.
And he's lost control of the book.
Hopes and dreams of winning here.
Yes!
Get ready for round one, the Regione Sardegna Grand Prix of Italy, May 29th to 31st.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Hey there, it's your buddy Craig Carton. If you're trying to find out how to get all the great content that me and Tyrone Johnson give you every single day, here's Tyrone to tell you how.
You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and of course, Amazon Music as well. We're at all four.
That's right. It's the Craig Carton Show podcast every weekday morning live at 11, replayed at noon on YouTube and on SportsGrid throughout the country. Check it out. Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here as well. I got a question for you, okay?
Yeah.
I want you to tell me, how does a starting pitcher in a Major League Baseball game give up a grand slam on the 6th pitch of the game?
6th pitch of the game.
Yeah. How does that happen in the first inning?
So what's it? It's got to be either hits or you're hitting a batter to load them, and then you're letting a grand slam.
I've never heard of that before.
That's got to be. It's almost impossible mathematically.
Yeah. So San Francisco Giants starter Robbie Ray gave up a grand slam last night to Nolan Arenado of the Diamondbacks on his 6th pitch of the game, and it was the 2nd pitch to Arenado. So he threw 4 pitches
for the first
to 3 batters
to get to load
and
the
I'm
bases.
trying to figure out, without cheating and looking it up, how you give up a grand slam on your 6th pitch of the game. If you had to guess, how did he do it?
My guess would be hit on the first pitch, like first pitch of the game.
Okay.
Then
it can't be a walk.
No, can't be a walk. So
right.
Then I'm assuming that the next guy had 2 pitches that you hit him. You hit the batter on the 2nd pitch. That gets you to 3 pitches. The 4th was a guy swinging on the first pitch to load him up, maybe a little single blooper. And then you said it was the 2nd pitch, so I'm thinking hit, ball, hit batter, hit, ball, grand slam.
By the way, do you guys know the answer to that or no?
I'll have to look it up now.
I was reading that. I can't hear him.
He says he doesn't know. He's looking it up. They're efforting.
They're efforting.
They're efforting.
They're efforting.
I don't know how you do that. And since it was there, I definitely wasn't watching that game because of the hoops. So I don't know.
It sounds like something the Mets would do, doesn't it?
Yes.
That sounds like a Met-esque type of thing. Oh, that's right. The Mets had their own version of it last night. The New York Mets last night gave up an inside-the-park grand slam home run. I've never seen that either.
I've never seen that.
So last night, you had 2 grand slams I've never seen before. Mm-hmm. You had an inside-the-park grand slam that the Mets gave up to the Nationals, all right, as the ball went off the latest New York Mets call, Morabito's glove, and no one decided to help him out. So that was a grand slam. And you had a grand slam on the 6th pitch of the game in the San Francisco Giants game last night. Against the Arizona Diamondbacks. A game, by the way, that the Giants almost came back and won. They lost 5-3. Do you guys have the pitch for pitch on that or no?
Yes, we have it.
So tell me the pitch for pitch. Go ahead.
All right, first batter.
So strike looking. That's 1 pitch.
And then single.
So man on first, 2 pitches in.
Yes.
Go.
First pitch on the second batter.
First pitch single. So first and second, you're 3 pitches in.
3 pitches in.
Next batter.
Fielder's choice, but an error.
So first pitch swinging.
Right.
Ground ball.
Error.
Fielder's choice error. Bases loaded. So now.
Did he take some ball, Arenado?
5 pitches in. 1-0 count to Arenado. Bases loaded.
Nobody out.
Next pitch, bang.
Bang, gone.
Wow.
So the error made it worse because it might have been a double play ball. The error clearly should have been at least 1, maybe it would have been 2 outs. And it would have been a 2-run shot. We've seen that tons of times.
So the Cauchy odds on that happening were 1 in 999 octillion that could ever happen.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you bet $1
on that
you now own Amazon.
Yeah, you just sit there like, that's scary. That's scary. Also, with that being not gambling, how's the house seem to always win? Anyway, we'll move on.
So there you go. So and then second story for you. We only have 90 seconds. I find it interesting that the Indy 500 decided to do what the WNBA refuses to do, and that's make Caitlin Clark the face of their organization. So you may have seen the other day that the WNBA were promoting, I guess, a triple header, a bunch of games.
They didn't use her.
And when it came to the Indiana Fever game, they chose a player averaging 1 point a game and not Caitlin Clark, who's averaging like 28 points a game.
Or Leah Boston, former first overall pick.
They decided to stab her in the back again.
They don't stab her
for some reason, they hate Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, I know why.
The Indy 500 came out and said, we'd like you to be our Grand Marshal. So Caitlin Clark can be the face of the Indy 500, but cannot be the face of the WNBA. Make that make sense.
I'll tell you how it makes sense.
Oh, that's right. They hate her maybe because she's, I don't know, a straight white woman?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
That's not why.
Is that possible?
Paige Beckers is a better player. Here's why.
Is that possible?
She's not complaining to the refs nonstop with them. I guarantee they're going to hate her at the Indy 500. Look at this call. Clearly that pit stop. You'll see. She's going to get thrown out of there with a technical foul. Technical foul already. Technical foul
I bet you it's the most watched.
No, it won't be. Get out of here. Nobody most watch Indy 500. No, it's not.
It'll be the biggest audience in Indy 500.
No, it won't be. What are we doing?
And somebody tell the Mets not to give out Gary Carter's number. They were going to retire it, but they gave it out last night to a new rookie. Dumbasses. Hey there, it's your buddy Craig Carton. If you're trying to find out how to get all the great content that me and Tyrone Johnson give you every single day, here's Tyrone to tell you how.
You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and of course, Amazon Music as well. We're at all four.
That's right. It's the Craig Carton Show podcast every weekday morning live at 11, replayed at noon on YouTube and on SportsGrid throughout the country. Check it out.
They're trading right now currently at 74 wins on the season, which means the Kalshi marketplace goes by 5-win intervals. 75-plus wins for those Houston Astros. That's a 49% contract to the yes, which a $100 investment pays back $205, Greg. I'm not high on this team. Look, again, 75 wins for the Astros is terrible, but this team might not even look the same as where we stand today by the time we get to that deadline.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You can recruit super young talent that may go in the NBA. You can recruit older guys and have them grow up together. But if you want players to stay, either sign them to contracts or treat them well enough where they're going to stay. To me, it's pretty simple. And, you know, a lot of coaches last year had good years and they left skid marks on their schools and nobody said a word.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Go over the summer where there's drastic changes and gas drops down to $3 a gallon, $2.50 a gallon in some states, and then you have some of the price markets go down. You ride that momentum is what Joe's talking about. So if you say right now, which party will win the U.S. House, and you think it's the Republicans currently trading at 20%, you take them now, and if good press comes, that turns into 25% and 30%, then you have the option to cash out.
Prediction Markets Edge, only on SportsGrid.